Take two. Take two. Let's see if this works. Take two. We're going to see if this works. I hope it works. Christina, our tech genius, our tech maven, believes that it could be that Facebook is just a little bit jammed at this time of day. So we might reevaluate the time here. But here we are now. So let's do some work now. Hi, Fawn, you're triggered. You don't need to be triggered for me. That's very kind of you. All right. Let's see. Let's give it a moment for everyone to come back here. Yay. Hi, Carrie. So good to see you. Hi, Phoenix. Welcome back. All right. Take two. Take two. We're doing this again. It's going to work. It's all grounded. It's chill. See ya. When things don't always go well, you just gotta look at them as road bumps, right? And when you were a kid, what did you do with road bumps, right? Or at least what did I do with road bumps? Like when I was on my bike, I'd like ride as fast as I could to the road bumps and jump the road bumps, right? And they were super fun and super exciting. And, sometimes I'd loop back around and hit the road bumps again extra times, right? So really making things fun in that way can oftentimes smooth things out, right? And actually that's going to be a lot of what we're going to be working on today with regards to manifesting is how childlike can you get? How much fun can you have? How much fun can you create for yourself this year, right? So I believe that things have smoothed out. I'm not seeing comments from anyone in our Take Two version of the 2021 manifesting meditation. Looks like things are going smoother now. So here we go. But if we hit another road bump, let's all be sure to ride faster and jump and like kind of put our hands up and say, hey, Ma, look, no hands. All right. Good, good. Oh, that's funny. Take two. That could be the theme of today. Take two. Right. All right. Good, good. I can just see the memes just rolling in. All right. So, with regards to today, besides having the Take Two theme, I was reminded by Dave Gannon, who is our avatar teacher here, and he was talking about the curriculum for our avatar class for January, and it's money and manifesting. And January is always a fun month where we focus in on how to manifest, how to create the life of your dreams. Because here at the Boulder Psychic Institute, one of the truths that we hold is that you are the creator of your life. You create all of it. And that really it's just a matter of showing you how to do it and then practicing it. We really focus a lot and stress how much practice is so important at the Institute. You just got to practice, practice, practice. And we say practice makes permanent, doesn't make perfect. Okay, we're not after perfection here. Just look at take one. Okay, we're just practicing to create some new life skills. And the more that you practice manifesting, the more that you just have fun with it, as I was stating earlier, you approach it as a child, the more that you will refine your skill and get better and better, and it's going to become more of a permanent habit where you'll start to prove to yourself, oh, I really am manifesting this life. I really am the creator of my life. And it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be such a big mystery. It doesn't have to be this big struggle. It can really just be easy. If you watch little ones as they maneuver through life, they just kind of have experiences and they go through life and they really just kind of roll with everything, right? And everything's kind of big and magical. And that's where we're going to work towards today. So instead of growing up, we're going to grow young. We're going to devolve. No evolving around here at BPI. See, we don't ascend, we descend. And so let's get to work today. And before I have you guys close your eyes in meditation, the phrase that I would like to work off of today is by a beautiful manifester from the 1930s. Her name was Florence Scovel Shinn. And I did take a few of her sayings that she produced back in the 30s. She was such an innovator. She was like miles ahead of her time and just such an amazing woman. And she was basically a psychic in the 30s who wrote some books and taught people about manifesting. And as some of you students know, I'm not a reader. I don't really read books. So I've never actually read her books, but I have skimmed some of them and energetically read her books to get the gist of what she was talking about. And so Dave Gannon was teaching the Avatar program and reminded me of Florence Scovel Shinn. And I thought, I'm kind of curious. What are some of those sayings that she has? Because she just created such great phrases and manifesting sayings that just had so much oomph and power in them. And they really helped a lot of people back in the 30s. So the one that jumped out energetically to me this week is the saying, I banish the past and now live in the wonderful now where happy surprises come to me each day. Right? I banish the past and now live in the wonderful now where happy surprises come to me each day. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that down in our healing manifesting meditation today. And we're going to work the energy of that phrase because it's pretty darn loaded and pretty potent, and see what we can manifest in 2021 this year as a community, as individuals, maybe even support the abundance of the planet. So if you guys would, go ahead and step into your meditative space. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And I'd like you to just tune into your body for a few moments. You don't have to change your body or do anything differently with how you're sitting. You don't need to modify your breath. Just let your body be for a few moments in the chair that you're sitting in with your feet flat on the floor. And just let your body kind of settle, if you would. The degree to which socially we have been speeding up and expected to produce more and more and move faster and faster. It's a bit unnatural for the bodies, especially in winter time. Our bodies are actually designed to slow down. For some of you who have been maybe sleepy or tired, that's your body really telling you that you've been pushing it, that it's time to tune in to not only your body, but to Mother Earth and the biorhythms of the planet and just the natural calm or hibernation vibration that is inherent in the winter time. In other words, I'm saying you don't have to be in that hurried, rushed, social conditioned state of produce, produce, produce. To manifest, you don't need to have your energy amped up. You can be chill. For those Gen Xers and boomers like the Fonz, just chill. All right. If you all would, I'd like you to go ahead and ground yourself. And for those of you who do not know what that means, what I would like you to do is I would like you to use the power of your mind, use your ability to visualize a big tube of energy connecting your hips to the center of the planet. That tube of energy can just be a tube, it can be a waterfall, it can be a tree trunk, it can be a slip and slide. Just get your body connected to Mama Earth. And as you do that, you might notice your body taking a deep breath in. You might notice your body relaxing. Our bodies are designed to be grounded. It actually serves our optimal health and vitality to be connected to Mama Earth. Not only to be connected to her biorhythms and the information that you get from her. See, not only does she give you seasonal information around what to eat, how much to sleep, how much to exercise. She'll also give you day by day information on how to really take care of your body. But if you will, when you're also connected to Mother Earth, you want to think of that connection as a drain spout or like a spiritual or psychic drain connecting your body to the center of the planet so that if there's any energy that you want to let go of, that energy will just fall right out of your body and right down that grounding cord. You want to kind of imagine like pulling the plug on your bathtub when there's dirty bathtub water in there. Ew. And that dirty bathtub water just drains right out. So if you all would just take a few moments and see if you can use the power of your mind and visualize just any ucky water, ucky energy leaving your body and falling right down your grounding cord. And you might even synchronize it with your breath as you release or as you exhale. Imagine releasing. And coming back to that phrase from Florence Scovel Shinn, again, breaking it into three parts. The first part, I banish the past. Banish the past. Be gone with you. And really what she's talking about is letting go of wherever you're still triggered or stuck in the past or still processing the past. Because if you will, what happens for a lot of people is when they are stuck on the past or still processing it or triggered by what happened last year, maybe you have some PTSD, maybe you have some post-Trump stress disorder, right? Or maybe post-COVID stress disorder. If you have those levels and those are still triggering you, what that trigger will do is it will hold on to your energy like a big knot somewhere in your body, a big knot of energy, okay? And that big knot of energy is going to tie up your energy so that you can't manifest, okay? You want to be able to have all your energy available to you to be able to manifest, okay? And if your energy is kind of tied up in knots, stuck in the past, kind of wound up from the PTSD of the last year or the last few years, or maybe your whole lifetime, depending on, how rough it's been for you. What you want to do is you want to banish that. You want to let that go, okay? And it doesn't mean that you're going to let go of your memories or not remember what happened, but you're going to let go of the triggers around it. Okay? You want to start to think of your triggers as like a hook where somebody can hook you, right? And what oftentimes people get hooked on when they're trying to manifest is the phrase that goes something like, oh, well, it happened to me this way in the past, or whenever I've tried manifesting that way, this is what happened, so it's just not going to work. Okay? And so you're taking the past and you're getting hooked by it, and you're bringing that into your future, right? So you want to let go of your hooks. So if you would, I'd like you to have that grounding cord. Just act like a spiritual drain. And just see if you can take a deep breath in and imagine all these little hooks, all your little fish hooks that are just pulling into your poor little cheeks, digging into you. You might feel them as pain points, tension spots, wherever you kind of clench. You could feel them in your body. They could be sensory or emotional places where you clench around the need to be perfect or expectations. It could be your thoughts too. Oftentimes where you clench in your head is where you have thoughts that run out of control or over and over like broken records. Bad thoughts. I'm a bad person. I'm a horrible person. Self-deprecating thoughts. With each breath, just imagine that energy, just ucky energy, just releasing out of your body and falling down your grounding cord, just kind of going ker-plunk, ker-plunk, ker-plunk. One of my favorite phrases that I like to use with my 2-year-old is, well, that happened. Well, that happened. So every time there was like a little mini injury or something happened that he didn't like, even from birth, right? Right after birth, they did like this little skin, cut thing to grab some of his blood to test him for various things. And, he of course cried. And I was like, well, that happened, and really what I was meaning there is not to demean his pain, but really just to say, well, that happened. Let's neutralize that. Yes, it's painful, and we're going to just let that go. We're going to let that fall down the grounding cord, and we're going to just be right in the now. And that's not happening now, and we're going to move forward. Well, that happened. Good. And if you want a little bit of support, banishing the past, Florence Scotian used such dramatic words. And I actually like a lot of her sayings because she really uses a lot of imagery or invokes a lot of imagery in her mantras that she created. They're great mantras if you ever get a chance to read some of them. So somewhere in there, she knew as a spiritual revolutionary in the 30s that, words are powerful and important, but she knew to create words or verbiage that would really invoke the imagery of the mind. And what we teach here at the Institute is that what you imagine creates your reality. You got to be able to see it to have it, okay? You got to be able to imagine it to manifest it. And so that's what I like about a lot of her phrases is that they really invoke this imagery, right? Banish the past. Just, beget you. So if you want a little bit more support with that, let's go ahead and use the vibration of what some call God or Allah or Source. We're going to use the verbiage Supreme Being. That's the verbiage that I like to use here for that vibration that's omniscient, omnipotent, supportive for everyone, on everyone's side, the Supreme Being. And everyone has a really unique relationship with the Supreme Being. And so what I'd like you to do is just within yourself, Within your own confidence, your own knowingness, I'd like you to tune in to the Supreme Being, however you see that vibration, however you experience it. It's not a wrathful Supreme Being or a punishing one. It's a unconditional, loving Supreme Being, completely neutral, absolutely amused. I love that Supreme Being energy because they remind me to laugh. And if you would, I'd like you to ask the Supreme Being to give you a healing. Now, oftentimes I visualize that as a gold beam of light coming down from the Supreme Being, connecting into the top of my head, and that gold energy just flowing right into my head, through my body, kind of giving me a little golden flush. If you visualize or experience a healing from the Supreme Being in a different way, that's your truth. Imagine it in whatever way works for you, but make sure you try to visualize it. What you imagine creates your reality. And I like to imagine that Supreme Being energy like a spiritual rotor-rooter, where it's just going to collect up any energy that I don't want, just flush it right down through my body and down my grounding cord. It's like a power wash, but Supreme Being power, which is infinite power. And if you would, I'd like you to ask the Supreme Being to help you release the past. All of those hooks, all of those triggers. It could be last year, 2020. It could be previous years. For some of you who are that inclined, it could be previous lifetimes. The key is to release all those like clenchy spots, wherever you're holding that in your body, in your aura, in your psyche, in your etheric bodies, and to let that release so that you aren't projecting into the future. This happened then, it's going to happen again now. I oftentimes have students say, well, I tried that and this is how it turned out. And I say, yeah, well, you might physically do the same thing again next time, but if the energy behind it is different, then it's all different. The whole game is different. The whole setup is going to be different, meaning the whole outcome is very likely to be different if you change the energy. Now, of course, oftentimes if you change the energy, what you do physically or how you go about your day-to-day or how you try to manifest this might show up differently. But if you hold on to the past, you're going to keep recreating it over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, even if you do something different to create a different outcome, but the energy behind it is the same, you're probably going to have the same outcome. So, trying not to scare you into letting go of the past, but it's definitely a really good idea. All right, just go ahead and breathe. Let that golden energy just continue to flush through your body, giving you a healing, please. Yeah, and just stay nice and grounded with that Supreme Being connection, that gold just gently flowing through you. It's powerful, but it can definitely be gentle all at the same time, like a gentle giant. All right, and let's move into that second part of the phrase from Florence Scovel Shinn. So the first is, I banish the past. The second part of that phrase is, and now I live in the wonderful now. Right? Now I live in the wonderful now. Part of banishing the past allows you to bring your energy into the now. But the cool thing about having a human body, see, a lot of people beat up on the body, bad hair, bad wrinkle, bad, muffin top, whatever, too skinny, I don't know. We tend to beat up on our bodies, and we're taught to do that. And when I read the energy of what Florence Scovel Shinn was really talking about in I Live in the Wonderful Now, it's really about using your body as a vehicle for being present, being in the now, because logically speaking, your body can only be in the now. Okay, your body can't be in the future. It can't be in yesterday, right? Part of your body can't be off in the past. You can't like chop off an arm and have that arm be 10 years ago, right? All of your body is always in present time. And so you want to start to think of your body as your vehicle, your tool, your spiritual teacher that reminds you, hey, I'm here right now in the present. You want to come bring all your energy in me? Okay. And part of her phrase is about living in the wonderful now and starting to recognize your body as this wonderful thing that you've manifested. It's the biggest manifestation that you've created thus far, right? And this is what you've manifested to have various experiences with in this lifetime. I always say, bodies are great because it enables me to have chocolate and sex, right? Bodies are awesome, the wonderful body. And again, coming back to children, right? They don't have hang-ups about their bodies. They're not bothered with their big bellies. Oh my God, toddler bellies, they're so big and so cute and they're kind of chubby. It's like the cutest little thing ever in the whole world, right? Chubby little fingers, chubby little toes, and we think it's adorable. They have no hang-ups around their body. Can you bring yourself to a state where you're just in this wonderful now, your wonderful body? So I'd like you to take a deep breath in. And would you invite the Supreme Being with that connection of gold into the top of your head, gently healing, gently flushing through your body? Would you ask the Supreme Being to collect up any energy that would keep you from experiencing your wonderfulness of your wonderful body? The wonder of now. And if you would, I'd like you to just breathe and see if you can feel. Definitely try to imagine, visualize that golden energy just flowing into various parts of your body and either helping to collect up wherever you're hard on yourself or you're beating up on yourself, or your body's not perfect, it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, it's not healthy enough. All that perfection energy pulls us into the future, right? I've got to be perfect, whatever that is. Or I was so perfect when I was younger. Let all of that go. See if you can let the Supreme Being just collect up those thought patterns, those energy patterns from your body and releasing them. And then allow that gold to just flow into those regions and just give those parts of your body a big Supreme Being, unconditional, loving hug into your body. Just really giving that to your body. It's a wonderful body, the wonderful now. I love watching my little 2-year-old trying to figure out new things with his body. And he's just so enthusiastic with it. And he has no perfection or need to do things right. He has this cute little thing where he likes to jump off step stools, right? And jumping is kind of a big thing, but he's all of a sudden discovered it. And now he does these deep knee bends. He goes, 1, 2, 3, and ha, 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 ha. And he kind of gets himself ready and he jumps and he leaps. And he comes up to me, he says, that was a ginormous jump. And oh yes, definitely, that was a huge jump. He has no perspective or no expectations, right? But to him, it felt huge, right? And energetically, whew, man, does he jump really high. It is humongous. So see if anywhere where an adult kind of belittled you or said, oh, yeah, that's just a little jump, or that's not that big of a deal. So see if you can let the Supreme Being come in and just mend those parts of you. Just engulf those areas with unconditional love. No, it was a humongous jump. No, it was a humongous step. Some of you guys out there are so frustrated, so annoyed with your body that it's not healing fast enough. It's not changing fast enough. It's not manifesting fast enough. Manifesting the new job or the relationship. A lot of that stems from all that expectation energy that you probably received from the adults in your life, where they got beaten down from the adults in their lives and just passed it right on down to you. Well, just decide that the buck's going to stop with you. You're not going to propagate that energy anymore. It stops with you. And that you're going to be like a child and you're going to validate those little big leaps. And then you're going to celebrate them. And you're going to celebrate all the wonderful things that your body does for you and gives for you. So for those of you who are experiencing maybe excruciating pain, maybe you're having a body healing project going on right now, or maybe you've had an injury recently, or maybe you've had some level of chronic pain. When you start to beat up on your body and go into the vibration of, oh, I've had this problem for this long, it's going to keep continuing. And the worst is when you spiral and you go, oh, it's going to be like this forever. Ooh. That's where then I recommend you call on the Supreme Being and just bring that unconditional love, that supreme neutrality, just right into your body and see if you can shift that. My wonderful body, my wonderful now. Because it is wonderful. These bodies do some pretty amazing things. Excellent. You really want to start to think of your body as an investment, right? You really want to invest in your body. So as you're receiving this healing from the Supreme Being, see if the Supreme Being has any suggestions or maybe might help inspire you to think of one or two ways that you could invest in your body this week. There's a great money teacher, Robert Kiyosaki, that I used to kind of skim through his books back in the day too. And I remember seeing one quote from him that said, savers are losers. And people who just save money and just, pile it away, they tend to not make that much money. And, they don't earn that much. They don't gain more, especially if you compare it to inflation. But I took that phrase and extrapolated it and thought, well, yeah, just saving energy in general, right? You want to look at more at like, how do I invest my energy? How do I invest my money? How do I invest myself, right? So see if you can come up with one or two ways that you want to invest in your body this week. It could be to get some body work. It could be to meditate. It could be to take a bath. It could be to make yourself a really good meal. It could be to do some yoga. How are you going to invest in your body this week? And see if you're kind of running a blank. Just let the Supreme Being inspire you. Inspiration. The Greek root word, I think it's inspire. But that meaning is to breathe the thoughts of God. Isn't that cool? To breathe the thoughts of God, to be inspired. Just let yourself be inspired right now. Excellent. All right. Moving to the third part of that phrase, I'm going to repeat the whole phrase. I banish the past and now live in the wonderful now, where happy surprises come to me each day. Where happy surprises come to me each day. Whew. Isn't that fun? Just happy surprises. Letting yourself be surprised. And really the root vibration of that third part of that phrase has to do with being what I call a manifesting magnet. So many people, when they think of manifesting, they start to like furrow their brows and they put their energy forward, and it's like, I have to go into a lot of effort to make this happen. No pain, no gain. I'm going to put some elbow grease into it, and they start to kind of get like amped up to try to manifest, right? And sometimes they even start to chase what they want. They'll kind of hunt down what they want and chase and chase and chase. Okay? And the key to manifesting is to not chase anything. Actually, the key to life in general, the key to parenting, the key to relationships, the key to calling in your beloved, right? The key to working with money is to not chase. You don't chase, okay? Chasing is not sexy. Chasing is a vibration where you're coming from lack. And so you're like needing to go after it and you're kind of grabbing at it, okay? It puts your energy very far into the future, okay? And it kind of takes you out of yourself. So you start to lose your wonderful now, okay? And so what you want to do is you want to recalibrate your energy so that you're more of a manifesting magnet. You're just kind of attracting energy into you. So with that connection to the Supreme Being, would you go ahead and ask the Supreme Being with that golden, unconditional love vibration to just flow into your body and help you to release and help kind of give big energetic hugs to those parts of your body that feel like it needs to chase, to go out and get something and grab it. Here at the Institute, I call being a manifesting magnet working on your havingness, or having a lot of havingness, just allowing yourself to just have, right? My best friend from the UK used to always tell me, oh, but Miwa, don't worry, because you can always have more, right? And I just love that. You can just always have more. Being chasing, or I call it grabbiness, right? That's the opposite of havingness. Just comes right into you. You want to think of yourself like royalty, where things are just brought to you. You just let it all come to you. So just breathe and receive that Supreme Being healing, helping to recalibrate your energy in your body so that instead of it going outwards to try to manifest, it actually has more of an inward pull. It's this manifesting magnet. You just pull it right into you. Allowing all the happy surprises to come into your life. All of the things that you intend to happen, all of your goals. Goal setting is great. Okay. Goals are how you come up with your intentions of what you want to manifest. But what you want to take away from that social norm of goal setting is the chasing aspect. There's no chasing. No chasing and manifesting. It's just letting it all come to you. So see if you can just breathe in and just see if you can feel the shift of the recalibration in your body. Instead of an outward take, grab, I need. More to an inner, it's just all going to come to me. It's all abundant. It's all in flow. Another great phrase that Florence Scovel uses is endless good now comes to me in endless ways. Just it's endless. Just comes to me. Come hither. The other part of that phrase with regards to allowing happy surprises come to me each day, there's that childlike element in there again, right? Banishing the past. Kids don't live in the past. They're right now. Now, 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 now. Just it's all right now. I mean, it's amazing how my son can be really upset, screaming about something, and then we let it go. He's dropped it. He's totally giggling and totally in a totally completely different state, right? Just I was here, now I'm here, and now I'm here again, right? And it could be another different state in another second, okay? And as adults in this Western kind of serious society, if you grow up and you're like that, they would say that you have some sort of like disorder or something because you can shift state so fast, right? We make that a negative. And I am seeing if I can help you guys shift that and say, actually, there's nothing wrong with being able to shift states quickly. That just means you're in the now, you're in the present. So if you would, as we're wrapping up with this manifesting healing meditation, if you would, I'd like you to go ahead and ask the Supreme Being to give you a healing on wherever you have no permission to be like a child. To be childlike, to be in the now, not in the past, not in the future, just right now. And then now, and now. To be in the magic of things, right? Remember the first time you saw like a soap bubble and then pop, 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 pop? Whoa, magic. The first time you saw a rainbow? To be in that vibration of curiosity, right? Happy surprises come to me each day. I'm just kind of curious. And I'm going to be happy about it. Just whatever surprise comes my way. To be in that level of just pure joy. That childlike joy, the sound of a child's laugh. Oh my goodness. Just breaks down any barrier you might have had. I always love it when I have a little standoff with my son and we're both kind of getting, stubborn. As a Capricorn and him as a Leo, we can definitely kind of, dig our heels in. Dad's an Aries. We all just get into this place. And then if somebody just starts laughing, it just, is contagious. And we all just start laughing. It just eases up all that energy, just being in that joy. Just like with take one of the Facebook Live meditation, just kind of start laughing. All right, this is a happy little surprise. Here we go. We're going to do take two. It's going to be even better. So be like a child. And if people start saying that you're childish or you're being immature, take that as a compliment. Say, why, thank you. I've been working on that. I appreciate that you noticed. Good, and just breathe. I banish the past and now live in the wonderful now, where happy surprises come to me each day. If you would you have the Supreme Being wrap up this healing by really solidifying the vibration, the energetic of that mantra within you, in every cell, in every organ, in all of your hormones and your biochemical reactions. Just let that all just vibrate in your whole body. Excellent. Good. And breathe. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just maintain this vibration. And I would like you to think of one intention that you have for 2021. It can be really little, like I would like to go on a hike 1 day a week. It could be a big intention. I would like to purchase a home. I would like to build my family. One intention. Here at BPI, we call it a mock-up. And now that you've set your energy at this beautiful vibration, there's this manifesting magnet, all childlike and joyful, curious. If you would, I'd like you to imagine what it is that you would like for this year. It could be, I just want to be happy this year. I just want to walk in peace. And just like what I said at the beginning, what you imagine creates your reality. It's so important to really work on your visual universe. That's what we're all about here at Boulder Psychic Institute. Developing the imagination, your ability to visualize. So just do the best you can and see if you can visualize yourself receiving that intention. Receiving it. It just comes to you. You're not chasing. It just kind of, boom. Yes, I'm just walking through every day in peace. Or yes, I just meet my beloved. Just my beloved just appears with total ease. Oh, here's the house of my dreams. Here's the job of my dreams. Endless good comes to me in endless ways. See if you can imagine you having this one thing. And of course, you guys can take this and do this on your own, especially if you're a student. You guys all know that this is creating a mock-up. If you're not a student, this is taught in one of the very first classes here at the Institute. And from this beautiful vibration that we've created and the power of the group energy, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take this visual of you receiving this intention that you would like to have, your vision for 2021, or one of the visions, and I'd like you to just give it to God. Just give it to the Supreme Being. May this intention come to you by divine right, under the laws of ease and grace and in perfect timing. May it be so. Take a deep breath in. Good. And what I'd like you guys to do before we wrap up today, I always like to give a little gift or a healing to the rest of the planet. What I'd like you to do is out in front of you, I'd like you to imagine a bunch of little bubbles. Little bubbles. Could be like 10 or 20 bubbles. Some of you guys who are really good at visualizing, it could be like 100 bubbles. And each bubble, I'd like you to place the vibration of the energy of what we created within ourselves today. I banish the past and now live in the wonderful now where happy surprises come to me each day. Endless good now comes to me in endless ways, just little bubbles. Bloop. It's just this pocket of joy and abundance. Yeah, you might see them as a color. I'm seeing mine as kind of iridescent, kind of pearl-like. How do you see yours? What color is yours? What kind of vibration did you create for yourself? And then if you would, I'd like you to take those bubbles and I'd like you to toss them out to planet Earth. Just kind of toss them up in the atmosphere. And what they're going to do is they're going to gently fall like floofy snowflakes to the planet, to various people, with the intention that anybody who would like one of these bubbles, they're just going to get to receive it and have this magical, wonderful surprise come to them. Just imagine that. Just poof, I give that to anyone who wants it. If you so choose, may you receive it. May it just come to you. You can even imagine a few people receiving them in different parts of the world. Maybe just a random smile comes over their face, or they get some chills out of nowhere. Or all of a sudden their mood shifts. Just imagine that as a little mini healing. Bloop. From time to time, I'll take little love bubbles or nice little bubbles with spiritual hellos or an energetic concept that I just want to share with the world. And I'll just, boop, there you go. If you want it, you can have it. I just created a bunch for you because I have that abundance. Excellent. Yay! All right, if you would, go ahead and thank the Supreme Being. And then have the Supreme Being disconnect from your head. Stay grounded. Stay connected to Mother Earth. As long as you're connected, Mama Earth will take care of you. Yes, good. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Go ahead and stretch. And open your eyes. Yay! Happy surprises every day. Bloop, bloop, bloop. All right, thank you everyone. I have as much time as you would like for some Q&A. You can ask about 2021 or express any concerns or any fears or ask any questions about manifesting. While I'm waiting for questions to come in, a few announcements. Our next Facebook Live is going to be on Friday, February 19th at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Our next self-healing class, I will be teaching that on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, starting next week, next Tuesday, February 2nd. Our next free aura and chakra healings are going to be on Tuesday the 9th at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. They are free. Invite your friends, have people come and get a healing, all right? It's our way of giving to the community, to giving to the world, like those little bubbles, okay? Just takes a little bit more to make that happen. A lot more logistics with the free healings, but they're just as bubbly, if you will. And we also have transmedium healings coming up on Tuesday the 9th at 11 and Friday the 12th at 5. It's all Mountain Time. All right, all of you guys are just saying, yay, happy surprises. Thank you, much gratitude. I don't see any questions. All right, well, have an amazing Friday. Enjoy the remnants of that full moon. Imagine more things that you would like for 2021. Give them to God, give them to the Supreme Being. Let the Supreme Being do the rest of the work and just be the magnet. It's just gonna come to you. Just be cool, be chill. You don't have to work so hard. It's all gonna come to you. Yes, that puppy over there, that is Fletcher. That's my little dog I manifested back in 2016. He is the best dog I've ever had, hypoallergenic and very well trained. Fletcher is his name. You can do, Nikki, you can do as many mock-ups as you would like. You can do as many in one day. As a matter of fact, now that you're in this vibration, if you have some time, you might just take another 20, 30 minutes and do some more, okay? All right, let's see. Fawn. All right. Fawn, it looks like that tick that's happening in your space is a level of a machine that's in there. Okay. What you're going to want to do is maybe post to the Facebook class group that we have and see if anybody wants to do a trade with you on erasing machines. Okay, so that's a little machine. It's kind of always been in there. It looks like it kind of got triggered recently to where it kind of opened up that little pocket of energy like a seed, and now it's grown as a little bit of like a tick. Okay. Uh, and also the energy around it. You're going to want to have somebody give you a little bit of a hand with that because there's all these like parental and social fears and concerns around, what's wrong with you. There's something not right. I'm off. This is bad. This is wrong. All of that's kind of holding that machine in place to where it's hard for you to even see it through all of the stress of, oh my God, I messed up. Oh my God, there's something wrong with me. My brain's wrong. All the psychological, like I need to be medicated, pictures or vibrations are in there, just, kind of putting that on lockdown. Okay. So you just want to start to clean that energy up and then just erase that machine. Okay. Fletcher's protecting me. Fletcher! Hey. All right. Carrie has a question about chemo. How do you become neutral to that? My best answer for that, Carrie, has to do with being like a child. See, a child wouldn't know that chemotherapy is bad or a negative thing. Okay. And so let yourself be in that vibration of chemo is a happy surprise, right? I have worked with clients in the past where it has been a very nice happy surprise. It has worked. Sometimes when I look at the energy of cancer, and if it gets to a certain place, okay, like there's a certain threshold where it's like the body is not going to be able to heal it on its own. It started to grow and multiply and get bigger and bigger at a rate that the body naturally is not going to be able to fight, even with changing your diet or, doing vitamin C infusions or mistletoe infusions or, all the alternative methods that they have nowadays. And so sometimes I will see that where it's like, oh, the chemo is really necessary to stop it and to stop the pattern in its tracks. Okay. And then then you want to start to ramp up all those other natural methods to have the body then be able to fight the cancer. It's the same thing with people who go on depression meds, right? You can turn that into a negative, or you can let it be a happy surprise and really let it be used for what I see that it can be used in a positive way, which is a temporary way to just shift the body and shift the pattern. Okay. People have sleep problems. Sometimes, as a natural hippy dippy myself who really isn't into allopathic drugs, sometimes I'll look at somebody and I'll say, you might consider whatever sleep med, or I think NyQuil has a sleep thing, or I don't know, just try something to just shift the pattern. Because oftentimes with the body, if you can just shift the pattern, and usually what I oftentimes say is if you can change a pattern and you've reset it, in 3 days you have a new habit. It could be a good habit, it could be a bad habit, right? So this is where, like, if all of a sudden my neck goes out, right? If I hit day 3 and it's not improving, I will go get help because I want to just stop that pattern because I don't want that to be a new habit that just becomes like a chronic thing, right? So same thing with sleep meds or depression meds. You take that for a while to reset the pattern and then boom, let your body kind of take over that, that natural body wisdom take over for itself. So chemotherapy. Kids probably can't even pronounce it. Let it be a happy surprise. Okay. Ashley is asking, how long do growth periods take? It's funny because, it's like your female menstrual cycle. You can kind of count on how long that's going to take. With regards to your growth periods, sometimes it can be years, sometimes it can be months. I know most of the students who are deep in classes here at the Institute, they kind of just pop in and out of growth periods like all the time. Sometimes they have like multiple growth periods happening all at the same time too. Um, so uh, for the one that you're in, Ashley, the degree to which you're resisting it, okay, and I'm kind of touching in on that energy right now. Do you feel how there's like this pressure on your head and like a little bit of tension at the back of your occipital ridge? Okay, that's where you're holding the resistance around the growth period. Okay, you're holding that tension in your neck because of all of the thoughts that this growth period is putting you in, all the mental head case that you're kind of in. Okay, the more you resist that, the longer it's going to take. So you're just going to want to, kind of flush that right down. Okay, just take that deep breath in. Yeah, just let that kind of ease up there and back there. Again, let your growth periods be a happy surprise. It's like digging into the cereal box. What's the surprise you're going to get, right? The cool thing to know about a growth period is that no matter what, as long as you're working your energy, you're using your spiritual tools, you will end up better on the other side, okay? Because it has to do with growth, okay? You're growing, you're releasing what's keeping you small and what's keeping you amazing. And as you're releasing it, you're kind of matching that, okay? So for you, all of the mental stuff that kind of gets y'all in tizzy, okay, or all wound up, right? That's all coming up and out, okay? So just remember, better out than in a growth period, it's always out, okay? Inanna, hello, welcome. Advice for protecting yourself, your chill vibrations when others around you are not chill. Yeah, that's a great question. I just used the word resistance with Ashley. The number one thing with protecting yourself is not to kind of push away, right? If you, remember from our meditation, you don't want to go chasing after what you want. Okay, you become the manifesting magnet. Okay, and the same thing with protecting. You don't push those people away, you unchill people, and you're gonna waste a lot of energy doing that. Okay, so the number one thing is to not resist them. Just don't resist them. Be like, wow, you're really not chill right now. Get a little amused, a little childlike. Wow, you're really wound tight, right? And you might even try to make some jokes in yourself. Wow, I bet your butt is really tight right now. I wonder what would happen if you just relaxed your ass a little bit. Okay, you don't have to say it, you can just think it in your head, right? Sometimes the people who are very unchill, you can't even smile around them. I'll kind of do one of these things where I'll have to cover my smile and try not to let them know that I'm kind of laughing at them. So you want to be careful on the physical realm, but just don't resist them. Let them be where they are. And the more that you can let them be not chill, the more that you're going to create space for yourself to be super chill. Okay. In some of the beginner classes, we do teach some techniques. We use a protection rose, really encasing yourself in your own aura bubble, in your own space. Those are also some other techniques, but really you want to get that first root of the solution, which is non-resistance. Okay, resistance is like glue. Just don't resist. If you resist them, all of a sudden you're going to be unchill and your butt's going to be like all clenched. Okay, don't resist. All right. um, So Bailey is wanting to know if I have any updates on the pandemic situation and vaccines and um, what it's going to be like as we move into 2021. Really, what I've been looking at as a psychic, and remember, as a psychic, um, or if you ask a psychic any question about the future with regards to divination, the future is not written, okay? We are creating our future right now in every moment, okay? This is why you just want to live in the wonderful now, because if you're living in the wonderful now, you will create a wonderful future, okay? The vibe, the energy that you're in right now is super important for the now, but it also sets the tone for your future, okay? So, uh, any psychic who is doing predictions, okay, they're really just, if you will, kind of weather forecasting. They're saying, well, like right now with where our energy is heading and how much energy we're putting towards this is very likely to happen. And I still, hold to 2022, sometime in the spring or the summer, that things are going to be kind of normal. And even then, I don't see that life is going to be like it was pre 2020. I mean, life actually isn't like it was in 2000, right? Things are very different, things are changing. And with technology and climate, things are moving pretty fast right now. And I would say the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is to get really, really, really comfortable with change. And that's why I started off saying, my students, I'm so proud of you guys, because all of you guys, my staff, me included, we're all just kind of gliding through this pandemic, gliding through the politics. Just because we had an election doesn't mean that politics really, into its core, are going to change. Okay. And just kind of gliding through it because we're all used to growth periods. Okay. When you're used to a growth period, it's like, oh, no, here's just another one. Okay. So get comfortable with great growth periods. Let them be a happy surprise. Be like a child. Oh, here's another growth period. Look, Ma, no hands. Ah. Ride that roller coaster. All right. Oh, good. Ashley, you're feeling that. Good, good. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me just see if there's any questions. You guys are chatting with each other. I love that. Uh, you can always, find each other on our student pages. If you're not a student, come become a student, and you can join our Facebook groups and join the community. Thanks, Julia, for referring people to us. All right. Let me just see. Who said the quote we used tonight? Florence Scovel-Shin. Thank you, Dee. All right. Excellent. Yes. Getting comfortable with change, right? I know this is super cliche, but the only constant is change, right? So get comfortable. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great COVID Friday night. Everybody go party in your living room or in your bathtub. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, we do have one more question. What is my take on the use of alcoholic beverages? I really am not a nutritionist or a health care provider in the traditional sense. And so I really try to stay away from suggesting diet recommendations or exercise recommendations, because what I know is that every body is unique and every body is different, and they all need different things and require different things. Some people require more sleep than others. Some people require more exercise than others. Um, in different times of your life, right? There was a time in my life where being a vegetarian was amazing, right? And then there have been other times where it was like, no, my body really needs meat. And if I kind of held to, well, somebody said I need to be a vegetarian, I can't eat meat, or vice versa, I wouldn't be really tuning into my body and giving it what it needs. Okay, so I'm not saying that, your body might need alcohol or pot or, whatever recreational habits you might have, right? I'm not saying that your body needs it, but I am just saying just tune in, okay? And what I have found over many, many, many years of running Boulder Psychic Institute is that what I see with a lot of students is as they progress, as they do more and more energy work, your vibe changes, and your vibe starts to kind of get higher and higher and lighter and brighter and shinier, right? And at some point, you're going to kind of get to the point where it's like, when I drink alcohol or when I smoke a cigarette or whatever, smoke pot or eat too much sugar, sugar's a drug, right? Somebody just told me chocolate is a drug. That was very rude of them, by the way. And I recognized I had a trigger when I said, "Oh no, it's not." And he was like, and I had to go home and do some energy work on myself around that and neutralize chocolate. And it is a drug too. But anytime you do too much of that, your vibe might kind of change, right? And most of my students, they get to a point where they just really don't like their energy dropping that much. Because maybe when you're a new student, your vibe is here, and then drinking alcohol kind of drops you to here, and it's like, whatever, right? That's how it was for me in college. Like I could just drink like a horse, right? And it was kind of like, that was kind of normal, was being kind of mildly hungover. I mean, you're not really that hungover in your 20s, but just mildly kind of in that state, right? But the more and more energy work I did, and I see this with the students too, they just get brighter. And so, dropping from here to here is definitely not the same as dropping from here to here, right? And that bigger difference starts to really have students kind of think about it like, yeah, I'm going to maybe reserve that for once a month or maybe never. Or some students kind of stop drinking for a while, and then they kind of remove all of the social pressure and all of the patterning in their body that has that be a habit, and then maybe they pick it up, but they're more sane with it, or just more grounded with it, or tuned in with it, right? So everything in moderation, including moderation. Just tune into your body. Your body will tell you. Um, People liked the booze question. Sex is not a drug, Colette. I might have to look at that, but I'm going to hold to that right now, that it is not a drug. All right. Yeah, so after you do a bunch of energy work, I don't necessarily recommend going on a drinking frenzy. You might kind of want to maintain this vibe through the evening. Notice your dreams; they might be super potent tonight. You might wake up with some new ahas, or just feeling more refreshed in your body. I don't know if I would undo the work that you did tonight. So it was a joke when I said, have a happy Friday night and party in your living room. I meant like party energy style. Raise your vibration without any substances. And, through the work that we do here at BPI, you actually can create all of the states that you can get to through those drugs and alcoholic beverages or whatever. You can acquire those states through this energy work. So you can do it and not have a hangover, and not do a number on your liver, you know. Um, Plant medicines, I put that into the same category as recreational drugs. Um, you know, uh, if I, the way that the tribal cultures use it is not as a thing that you do all the time. Again, kind of like what I was talking about with you just got to disrupt the pattern. Like you got to do chemo to disrupt the pattern or take a sleep med to disrupt the, pattern of insomnia. Um, when I look at that plant medicine in the tribal cultures, they use it as a way to disrupt the pattern wherever somebody's mind is being too static, too much in the physical plane. And they'll use that to kind of blow open the mind so that they can disrupt the pattern and be like, oh, yes, there is more than just this limited mental, physical reality. And it'll kind of disrupt the pattern. But recognize that in those tribal cultures, they use plant medicine to do that. Sometimes they'll do that through a walkabout or a vision quest. They'll put you into a state of like extreme starvation and thirst to get you there. But there's always a shaman or a witch doctor, a spiritual leader who will take them, on an astral adventure when they're, high on the plant medicine or in this extreme state of survival or lack of hydration that they'll do sometimes on a walkabout. And that witch doctor or that spiritual leader will come and take them on an astral adventure. And with their spiritual body, they will teach them some things in their spiritual body about the astral plane and the relationship between that and the physical plane. Okay, I don't see that happening in that way in some of those the rituals. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I just wouldn't place as much weight as some people do on it. Like, oh my God, this is, what's going to get me there? It's you want to think of it as a disruptor, right? Plus, you can't take plant medicine, you can't take alcohol or drugs with you to the other side. You can't take chocolate, you can't take sex, right? You can't take that with you to the other side. You want to learn how to create these vibrations within yourself so that you can bring these energies with you of bliss or, mind blown over to the other side. Okay. All right. Fawn, people do use alcohol to let go of their problems. They let them go, but if you aren't really letting them go, I mean, you're letting them go for the moment. Some people do. Some people, when they get drunk, they don't, and they kind of all their problems get bigger and bigger, and then they become kind of an anger ball, right? And so it is a temporary letting go, but it's not a permanent letting go. It's not a permanent fix. All right. Okay, just reading through. Yep, people are talking about smoking, drinking, their experiences with that. What a fun turn. What a happy surprise. Getting real about substances. Um, all right. What do I think about the COVID vaccine? Just like with any technology or any medicine, it's going to resonate and work for some people, and for other people, it may not. And, it's kind of an offering that, if many people use it, it could be the panacea. It's kind of like technology. It's great. If you're using it too much, it can also not be great, right? And with science and technology, they oftentimes don't recognize that there's a balance to be had there too, right? Everything in moderation. And I do see that to some degree there's a lot of emphasis being placed on the COVID vaccine. Um, just like, with the flu vaccine, it's, not always the most effective. And, we'll kind of see how that plays out with COVID and the mutations that are already coming to reality with regards to COVID. So, really, if you choose to get a vaccine or not, let that be a happy surprise, be in the wonderful now about it. You can imagine bringing the COVID vaccine up to gold and just being amazing on your body. Or if you choose not to, you can also bring your body up to gold, eat well, rest well, no matter whether you get the COVID vaccine or not. Okay. I still see that we're going to be wearing masks for a while. Okay. Ooh, Elizabeth, I hope you do take singing to the other side. Yes. So, Aaliyah, astral sex, in case you haven't noticed, is not the same as sex in the physical body. Just doesn't feel the same because you don't have a physical body there on the astral plane. Yes. Phoenix, what's keeping me from getting my wisdom teeth out as a happy surprise? We were just talking about the drugs. You might get some really good drugs out of the deal. You might have a really great astral experience while they have you under. Anytime I've had to get surgeries like that, I just recently had a bunch of root canal teeth removed, and they put me under for that. And, it's just nice to kind of be on a forced, unconscious state where the body like completely is unconscious, and to just really release from the body and go have an amazing astral adventure. Yeah. Colette, where is Fletcher? We'll see if at the end, let me get to a few more questions. Angela, your picture around coffee while meditating is that you go unconscious when you meditate, and you have become attached to the caffeine and the coffee to keep you conscious. So instead of you keeping you conscious, the coffee is keeping you conscious, and you just want to deprogram that. All right. So Ashley, it looks like, did some plant medicine. Her psychic abilities turned up really quickly. It took a big toll on the nervous system. How do I navigate that? Well, that's again why you want a really good shaman or a spiritual teacher around to take you on that astral psychic opening adventure and work with you on that, because basically what happened is you opened up, and that opened up Pandora's box, which what was in there was also a lot of fear around what you might see, what you could see, seeing too much, the implications of that. What if you see something and you create it? All the punishment from all the people that, might hold you responsible for what you see, or did hold you responsible for what you saw as a little kid. All of that came up and out. And while you were going through that plant medicine experience, you weren't working that energy. So yeah, of course, there was no integration there. And so the nervous system, you got kind of overloaded on all those pictures coming up. And so my advice to you is to meditate, 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 clear that fear as much as you can, and then just really imagine some nice cooling blue on your nervous system, throughout your spinal cord, throughout all the little nerve endings out to your skin. Just cool it right down. You can also have your healing beings help you with that too. Yeah. This is why, I definitely enjoy the work here at the Boulder Psychic Institute, because people are going to open up to their psychic abilities at a pace, at a rate that won't put them into so much cognitive dissonance where they kind of lose their shit, you know. I mean, you guys lose your shit from time to time, but it's not like really losing your shit, you know, from too much of an opening. So there's that safety mechanism in there. You're going to grow at just the right pace for you. Um, oh, Bailey, COVID. Yes, lots of gold suns, cleaning out your pineal, and just really, really speaking to your body and that body wisdom, right? My wonderful now, my wonderful body. Have the Supreme Being give you healings on your wonderful body to just remind you that your body knows what to do and is going to be able to move through anything that might come your way with regards to that exposure. Again, don't resist it. Okay, don't resist getting COVID. Okay, just like you don't want to resist those unchill people, right? You just want to be like, well, if it does happen, right, it's going to be a happy surprise, and we'll just see, you know, how my body works with that. Okay. Um, all right. Okay, I think I have moved through all of the questions. Um, Colette, Fletcher, come here, come here. So he's a Fletcher is a Capricorn, and so he doesn't play those cute games. Whenever I want to like show him off on Zoom, he's like, whatever. uh, but Fletcher is a long mock-up in the running where it took me many years to convince my husband to get a dog. And then after lots and lots of printing out of really cute Cavapoo puppies, because Fletcher's a Cavapoo, he's part Cavalier Spaniel and part Poodle. And after posting thousands of pictures all over the house and just showing my husband how cute it would be to have a cute little Cavapoo around, he finally said yes. And so then I created my mock-up for Fletcher and put it out there to have this wonderful dog that would, you know, open up my whole family's heart, you know, my husband's heart, just open up, you know, that furry, fuzzy, unconditional dog love into the house. And so I created that mock-up, and when I found Fletcher, he came to me on the astral with these big floppy ears, and he was flying with his ears. And we went flying together in his little ears, right? And so then he flew me to where he lived, which was in Pennsylvania. And he was a little puppy, about 7 weeks old then. And so I found him online by doing a little bit of a Google search of that region and people who were selling dogs out there. And I found him, and at first thought it would be easier to fly him here, and then he begged with me and said, no, you got to come pick me up. And so I flew out there, picked him up, and then came home the very next day with a cute little 3-pound Fletcher dog who was like, you know, this big. He was super cute. And we passed him around on the plane, and all the flight attendants and passengers just fell in love with him. So, and when I got Fletcher, I knew that he would put me into a growth period and help me blow some perfect pictures. And oh man, what a happy surprise. I had no clue the degree of perfect picture torture growth period that I would go through with him. But it was definitely a worthwhile one. And he helped me clear a lot of perfect pictures around just the body and how things can kind of go wrong, but it can, you know, if you really let the body wisdom play out, how it can turn out okay in the end. You know? So little Fletcher has some body stuff, but it's not the end of the world. So, all right. Okay. Same thing, Bailey, with my son. Actually, my son has been with me since I became psychic and became aware of him. He was probably with me before then. I haven't asked him. But when I first became aware of him as a baby spirit, I was 19, and I had like 80 baby spirits swarming. There were so many I didn't count. I could have made a few football teams with that many baby spirits at 19. And I started to clean out those agreements one by one, and he was the one that I kept for many years until I decided to have kids. And when it took a while to get pregnant, I added on 2 more girl spirits to the list, and kind of let them all duke it out for who would get to come in first. And he won. He was like, I've been waiting the longest. I'm going to be the big brother. So Orion came in. He slid in as a very nice surprise there. So another happy surprise. Yes. All right. Yes, baby spirits can be very crazy making. When I had that many baby spirits, my sex drive was off the charts. In that case, Colette, maybe it was like a drug. And each baby spirit wanted like a different dad with a different genetic and a different potential life path. And yes, that definitely made life extremely interesting. And once I cleaned them out, it's not like my sex drive went down, but the sex craziness definitely went away. It was a lot more grounded. And oh, I want to have sex with you because that would be very fun. And then when I decided I wanted to have kids, then, I made sure to pick not only a mate, a person who would be a good mate, but also a good life partner. So a lot of people make that mistake. They choose good mates. Oh, we would make great babies together, and they do that oftentimes very unconsciously, and they forget to add that into the mock-up. Is not only do I want to make cute babies and good-looking babies and babies that are healthy and that have all the good genetics, but I would like to make a baby with somebody that I am going to spend the rest of my life with. So this is where oftentimes people have kids, it lasts for a while, and then they get divorced or they break up because they married their mate and the person to, have procreation sex with, maybe not the other kind of, um, you know, sex where there's not like a purpose. I don't know. All right. These are all the things that like we talk about after class here at BPI, and I feel like I'm just having like this evening Friday powwow with you guys about all sorts of random things. So thank you guys. You guys are making me remember what it's like to have students here in the building. I totally miss it. So I think I have answered all the questions. Of course, if any come up, please email or call the school, and we will have another Facebook Live sooner than later. It'll be on the 19th. So thanks again, guys. You guys are all awesome. Remember the little bubbles from time to time. You guys are abundant. There's so many little bubbles to go around. Send them out there to the planet, because people do need them, and you're not like shoving them into people. Okay, you're offering it to people. Okay, reminds me of when I went to a wedding and they gave us rose petals, and the wedding director said, when they come down the aisle, you want to throw it up in the air, not at their faces. And I remember I snort laughed really loud in that moment because I was like, oh, that would be hilarious to throw rose petals right at the faces of the bride and the groom as they came down the aisle. But I imagine it must have happened because she had to warn us not to do that. All right. Okay. Bubbly rose petals to everyone. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Mwah. Take care. Manifest on. Happy surprises. Take care, everyone.